All right, thanks so much, Elizabeth. During the holidays, everyone loves the food that is served, and sometimes we spoil our pets with a taste of it, but some of those foods can really cause them some harm. And joining us now is Megan Tatoris from ABQ Pet Care with the details on what we should and shouldn't be feeding our friends. And you brought a friend along, too.
Yes, this is Lou. I rescued her from Grenada.
She is so sweet and well-behaved. Don't blame her for staying away from Matt Morrow whatsoever. It's such a cutie. All right, let's talk about the food thing because this is coming up. Thanksgiving's upon us, and you know the holidays too. It's not just Thanksgiving. I mean, this is the time of the year when we all do a little heavier eating, and sometimes our pets get that too. What kind of harm comes from feeding the pets the table scraps?
Yeah, so a lot of food can be, potentially very dangerous for them. One of them being, feeding the turkey and the turkey skins. That can cause something that's called gastroenteritis or cause really bad diarrhea, which is, of course, nothing what we want to deal with the day after Thanksgiving.
Definitely don't want to do that. And of course, the poor little puppy, I'm sure, wants to avoid that if possible too. So basically, it's like high fatty food can cause that.
Yeah, definitely. Any of those high fatty foods like stuffing, the turkey skin especially, can be really potentially dangerous. And of course, after you throw out the food, that food can be spoiled and things like that. That can cause them to have serious problems.
Okay. Now, what about bones? I remember my dad, when I was little, he'd always say, like, don't give the chicken bones to the dog. They can choke on them and stuff like that. Is there a certain rule of thumb when it comes to worry about bones with your pets?
Yeah, so pretty much all bones are, potentially can be really painful and can cause obstruction, so it can go into the small intestines and then they have to get surgery to get that out. Or if they chew on the bones and they break off, that can, potentially perforate the bowel, or it can, even if it makes it all the way through the bowel.
Do you see this happen?
Yes,
a lot,
you see it a lot.
Okay,
yeah.
yes, so please avoid it. I'm sure that you see all kinds of things coming in, and that's probably one of the more common ones. Okay, what about poisonous foods? They always say keep chocolate away from the dogs. Is that fact or myth, and is there anything else like that we should remember?
Yeah, well, definitely chocolate, and especially during the holidays, you're making a lot of desserts, so baker's chocolate is much more dangerous than the potential milk chocolate and things like that. So definitely when you're baking, you want to make sure to take that and put it away right away. Also, when you're cooking, garlic and onions can be very dangerous for pets, and that's one that people don't usually know. Grapes as well. So when you're with your family, try to keep out and get away from those things.
That can be found in a lot of your Thanksgiving foods too.
Exactly.
So just think twice before you hand over some of the scraps to the pets. Do you think it's okay to give them something every now and again, or do you think it's just better to avoid it altogether?
Yeah, if you want, they want to participate in the holiday and they want to indulge themselves. So the best thing to do is give them some apples or carrots. But what I like to do is, most dry pet foods now have canned version as well. So you can give them a little treat by giving them a canned version of their own food. So then they get a treat that way.
And it changes it up for them without giving them the stomach problems or any of the other issues that may happen. Thank you so much for coming on this morning and giving us these tips. There's a lot of interesting information, a lot of stuff I didn't even know about there too. So if you want more information, you can go to our website, casa.com, and she'll have all those tips for you on there as well. And also, Megan's going to be joining us again during the next hour to talk about pancreatitis, because one of the #1 causes of pancreatitis is fatty food. So you're going to be back to talk more about that. Thank you so much again, and look forward to seeing you again in the next hour. Well, we still have a lot more to come here on To Casa this morning. We're going to have a look at how that morning commute is shaping up. But first, here's a live look from our HD roof cam. I'm going to have your full forecast coming up after the break. And before we get to the break, there's a picture here. Andrea O'Connor sent this pic after the storm rolled in over the weekend. She says it was white knuckle, I bet, driving on those roads. Send us your pictures, casa.com, and click on Casa Club.